Welcome to another episode of Ask Me Anything About Amazon, live on YouTube. Let's get started.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another live episode of Ask Me Anything About Amazon. I'm Crystal, and I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society. And I'm joined today in this live episode with Yusuf, who is my colleague at Amazon Sellers Society, but Yusuf is based in China. Hi, Yusuf, and good evening.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Very excited to have you here. So, for everyone, if this is your first time meeting Yusuf, Yusuf is originally from Pakistan. He's been in China for more than 6 years now. He's finishing his PhD, but he's also been part of the Amazon Sellers Society for 2 years, and he is the head of sourcing. Throughout these 2 years, I think, Yusuf, we have been able to source more than 100 products from China, and all of them we've been able to sell on or to send to clients in the UAE and KSA, correct?
Yeah, exactly. We have already, I think so, more than not 100, more than 400, and with the branding.
400. Okay, I'm giving low numbers. So more than 400. That's absolutely great. So today, Yusuf, we want to answer everyone's questions around sourcing. We want to give some details and tips around how to find great suppliers in China. Why China? Why not other countries? Because that's, we get a lot of questions about it, and you're going to help me and provide all of the knowledge and information to everyone. So for anyone that's watching us live, please go ahead and leave your questions. Myself and Yusuf will be able to answer your questions live directly. But if you're not able to see us live and you're watching this on the replay, then we will be able to answer your questions in the comments. So comment anyways, yeah? Yusuf, let's get started with everything that we have prepared. So let's talk about sourcing products from China. We want to give you some general tips around sourcing products from China. We want to talk about, and then we're going to talk about sourcing and finding the right suppliers on Alibaba in particular. But Yusuf, in the beginning, I want to ask you a question that we get a lot around the prices. So why is it that when somebody tries to find suppliers in China, they find suppliers at multiple different prices? Sometimes it's the same product, but they find suppliers that are selling that product at a high price and suppliers that are selling the product at a low price. Why is that, and what are your tips for that?
Yeah, so this is the big question. So most of the time when we are buying like any product, so we see that like the same product have so many suppliers. So the best criteria to judge that which one is the best supplier. So first you can check the price. Okay, so which one is the good price? So actually some suppliers, they are selling high price, some suppliers, they are selling the low price, the same product. So what is the difference? If I am buying, then I am confused at which supplier is the best. And we will guide you the basic thing, that these are the basic elements that you have to fulfill. That first thing is that you can check that the price. Okay, and after that you can check the quality. You can just place the sample orders, and you can just get the product, and you can check the quality. When you will check the quality, then you can decide that which supplier is the best. The third thing is that you can check also the criteria of the communicating, how he is communicating with you. Okay, and the fourth thing is that the lead time, like how much time they will finish your production of your product. So these are the basic elements, and after that you definitely you have the answer of which supplier is the best. The main thing is the quality of the product.
It's not always about price, unfortunately. Sometimes maybe you have to pay a little bit more in order to get the quality that you want. So maybe that would be the main reason. So let's get started, Yusuf, with our first tip, which is when you want to work with a supplier in China, then you need to make sure that you research that supplier or manufacturer. So you need to make sure that you research who they are, what they've done, basically their track record. What do you think about this, Yusuf?
Yeah, exactly. So actually, when you are a new seller, so you have to know that about the manufacturer. Okay, so you have to know that about the manufacturer history, about that the manufacturer, like the ranking, okay, on which website you are buying from, Alibaba or wherever. So you know that about the manufacturer, and you know that they have a different like culture. So you should know also something basic about the manufacturer. So this is the main thing that you have to know about the manufacturer. Okay, so you are just not you cannot like blindly you can just invest and you can get that.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is a first manufacturer, and okay, just invest and you can start your production. No, not do like that. So first you should know that
you have
about
to
the
be careful.
manufacturer
Yeah,
history, about the revenue, about the ranking, okay, about the lead time, about like everything you have to judge, and after that you know that so this supplier, this manufacturer is good or bad
yeah.
in your future.
We're going to talk about a little, we're going to talk about this a little bit more when we move on to the tips around Alibaba. But also one thing to that we see, Yusuf, all the time is that people tend to, if the supplier is on Alibaba and they're a verified supplier, then that's it. They just, people blindly work with them. And what you said is very important. You need to look at the details so that you can make sure that this is the right manufacturer or supplier for you.
Yeah, exactly, as you said that. So the finding the best manufacturers, you have to know that about everything about the manufacturer, and
Yeah.
then you can
So
start your business.
we have a question, Yusuf, from Amir, who's asking, why are shipping charges expensive during Q4 in China? Well, we're finished from Q4. Now we're getting into Q1 and Chinese New Year. But normally, Yusuf, why are shipping charges more expensive in Q4? To answer Amir's question.
Okay, so actually, Amir, you know that in Q4 have so many orders. So like shipping company, they have limited trucks, and like we can say that, okay, have limited. So that's why they are just increasing the price of the shipping a little bit, not too much. It's depend on the market. They cannot like one CBM they can increase the $200. It's not like that. So actually they have more orders that time, so that's why they just increase the price.
Just like in anything, Yusuf, when you have more demand and less supply, things become expensive. So that's the
Exactly.
reason why, Amir. And that's why a lot of sellers, if they are already selling, they try to pre-order the quantity that they will be selling in Q4 in the end of Q3 so that they can avoid that time and they don't run out of stock. So let's go back to the things that we have prepared for you. Go ahead and leave us your questions. We're very excited to answer your questions. Number two, Yusuf, this is very, very important, and it's communicate clearly. Sometimes because we are on our phones, we talk on WhatsApp, we talk on WeChat in China, we completely forget that the person that we're talking to comes from a different culture, and sometimes English isn't not very strong language for them. So we always say and advise, you need to speak clearly, you need to communicate clearly, you need to use very simple English. What do you think about this?
Yeah, exactly. As you know that, English is not like language of the Chinese. But in China, mostly when you are talking with the manufacturer, the first thing is that just simple. Your question is not like so complicated, because they need to translate. Sometimes, mostly they need to translate from your English to Chinese. And the second thing is that they also use like some application, as you know that WeChat is a very famous in China. So most of the suppliers, they are convenient to talk on a WeChat. So because that is very quick and they can reply you so fast, and they can can translate. You can just send your message in English and they can translate into Chinese. And but the most important thing, you just keep your mind very simple and simple questions so they can give you answer very quick.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple. Nothing very, very complicated.
Complicated.
Set clear expectations. And this is something that we also ensure that is done correctly. So you need to make sure that you either do a written contract agreement or you communicate via like WeChat or Alibaba Messenger or email. Email, not really that much in China, but that everything is written clearly so that there is no misunderstanding. Sometimes you might think the production takes 10 days, for example, but the supplier could have said minimum 10 days. So then, the expectations aren't clear. How many problems have we faced and do we see people facing with these types of situations, Yusuf?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the most important, when we are placing the orders, we don't have like the agreement. So first, when you are placing the orders, you must have like the agreement with your supplier. In that agreement, everything is mentioned about the lead time, about your pricing, about your, so in which time limit they will finish the production. If you don't have agreement, then how you can say that, oh, you have, and you didn't tell them that I need product in 10 days. So these are the basic things that is mentioned in your agreement. I need the product in 10 days. If the supplier is ready, if the manufacturer is ready, then he will mention in your agreement that yes, okay, I will do the production in 10 days. So you have an agreement and everything is written in your agreement. Okay, then you can say to him or them that you give me just 10 days, you can see your agreement, I have agreement, and in 10 days you have to finish. So then he will fulfill the agreement and he will finish your production on time. Otherwise, he will say, okay, in just 2 days, in 3 days, in 4 days, because you don't have
Yeah.
agreement and you don't have any proof to show that.
Yeah. And there's no clear written expectation. Maybe the supplier or the manufacturer is trying to do their best. They tell you, yes, I'm going to try to finish. But if there's no clear set expectation, then, there's nothing. If you don't say, I need it in 10 days, like you said, then they will try to finish it in 10 days. But it needs to be clear that it needs to be finished. A question
Yeah.
from Latif Yusuf that says, I'm not really clear, Latif, what your question is. I heard about maximum quantity. Is it for every inventory, like 200 for every or for all inventory? Oh, I think Yusuf, Latif means about the inventory in Amazon. That's what I think he means. So let me know, Latif, if that's what you mean so that we can answer your question correctly. Do you mean the inventory limitations inside of Amazon, or do you mean when you order a quantity, what is the MOQ? So let us know so that we can answer it, myself and Yusuf, properly. Third thing, or I don't know which step we are on, we want to talk about third-party sourcing agencies. So sometimes it's really a good idea, especially for most of you that are saying, it's really tough to get samples. Samples sometimes take a very long time. Like Ala here, Yusuf is saying that samples sometimes take a month for them to get to him, and they are usually very expensive. So sometimes it's a good idea to work with third-party sourcing agencies. Amazon Sellers Society, and Yusuf is part of our sourcing team. We are not a sourcing agency, but we do have sourcing programs so that we can help you source products from China and get them to the UAE or KSA to start selling them. Now, before I answer this, if you want to learn a little bit more and if you want to book a call with our sales team, then you can go to our website, assmiddleeast.org/sell, book a call with our team, and we'll explain to you a little bit more about how Yusuf and our team in China can help you find products and see the samples, inspect the samples, and all of that. Now, Yusuf, with that being said, let us know a little bit more about why it's a good idea to work with third-party sourcing agencies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as Madam told you that Amazon Seller Society can help you as a third party to sourcing your product. Although we are not a sourcing agency, but we can help you to source the product for you. Okay. The third party is why important third party. If like I am a new seller, I don't know how to find the best supplier, how to find the best manufacturer. Okay, I don't know. And I don't know the best product also, how I can find the best product. Because the third party actually are dealing every day, they are dealing with the supplier. So sometimes the suppliers, they have the new patent, have the new product they want to publish on a website, but they didn't publish the that product on a website. But when you are talking with your like a manufacturer, because we have so many manufacturers, we have more than 600 manufacturers that are linked with us. Okay, and we have like, whenever they have the new product, first they recommend us, because we are the old clients. So that's why they have the new patent, they always send us first because they prefer us. Okay, so we can see that, okay, this is the new product, and in this market, this product will be more successful. The first thing is that the first benefit of the third party, because the third party have the new products that they didn't launch on a website. And this is the first benefit. Second benefit, that the third party, they knows that which one is the best supplier. Okay, because I suppose I am a new seller, and I am a new buyer of the product, I don't know the which is the best manufacturer. Third party is knows that which one is the best manufacturer, because they are dealing every day, so they knows that which one is the best. Third thing is that third party, our Amazon Seller Society, can give you also the product mm, sample inspection. Okay, like when you will place the order, when you want to buy the product, first you just buy the sample, because when you will check the sample, then you can see that, okay, this product quality is good, this is bad. So you can decide by buying the just only one sample, and Amazon Seller Society can give you the images, videos, inspection report of your sample. And after that you can decide that, okay, so this is the product is good and this manufacturer is good, we can go ahead with this manufacturer. So these are the basic benefits of the third party.
Yeah, perfect answer. So, if especially if you're new, and maybe if you're new not only to selling on Amazon, Yusuf, but new in general to this whole business, maybe you would benefit from working with a third party so that they can help you. So let me go back to some of the questions, Yusuf, that we are getting. So the question that we got from Latif earlier around, where is it? Around the limitation of the quantity on Amazon. So each and every account on Amazon, when you are new, depending, each and every account in each and every market has a certain limitation for you to store quantities inside of the Amazon FBA warehouse. Currently in the UAE, the limitation is 300, but it's 300 for all of the account, not per product, unfortunately. In KSA, it's 500 currently for all of the account. Sometimes in the UAE, it's a little bit bigger, depending on if you are a new seller or if you sell on other markets, but there's always a limitation, and that limitation is related to the quantity, related to the quantity of all of the SKUs, all of the products, and not just one. A question from Nina, Yusuf. No, let's answer this one later. But this question from Nina also, who's asking, shipping is very expensive, even for small quantities and samples. So what do you want to say about this? I have
so that's why
answer, but I would like to hear your answer.
Okay, so that's why Amazon Seller Society is for you. So Amazon Seller Society, just like in a few like a price of the sample, you and in the limited time, because when you will place the order, if you wherever you are living in UAE or USA, wherever you are living, so mostly shipping time takes time, 10 days, 10 to 15 days. This is the fastest shipping timing of any supplier. So but Amazon Seller Society can give you that sample inspection in just 2 days. So this is the basic benefit of Amazon Seller Society. We can give you, and still we don't have any charges of inspection. Okay.
So Nina, Yusuf is talking about himself and our team in China. So he's trying to promote his services with our team. So thank you, Yusuf, for that. We love what we do, and we love sampling and inspecting. And So you can work with us, you can work with any third party. But I think, Yusuf, mostly people find that shipping is expensive because they think the price of the product, shipping should be half. But normally in China, the price of the product is so cheap that sometimes, or so inexpensive that sometimes shipping is equal or maybe a little bit more expensive than the price of the product. So in comparison, shipping seems like it's expensive. It's not expensive. It's just that the products are very, very well priced. So overall, you shouldn't look at the product a price as product price and shipping. You should look at it as this is your landed cost. This is your cost of goods. Is it something that is, a good price for you in order to sell that in the market or not? That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
And I would also add something that of Nina question, that she said that like a small quantities have the high shipping
Yeah,
price.
yeah, you're right.
Actually,
You're right. Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
in some countries, you know that the price depend on the on CBM. Like if your product have 0.1 CBM, they will charge you as a one minimum CBM. So like if you are buying just 10 product, okay, 10 products 0.1 CBM, they will charge you 1 CBM. Okay, they will not charge you only 0.1 charge minimum, they will charge 1 CBM. Okay, so like in 1 CBM you can buy that 100 product have the same shippings that you are paying for the 10 units. So like the high number of the units, then your price shipping price will be down. And the second thing is that by the sea shipping is very very cheap. If you want to buy if you want to like a ship by air, then of course it will be more
it's going to be very
expensive.
expensive. Yeah, yeah. Good point, Yusuf. Sometimes, Nina, it makes more sense to order a little bit more. We're not suggesting that you order thousands of units, but sometimes it makes sense to order a little bit more because per unit, your shipping will be cheaper for sure. And definitely, you need to be patient, which is basically also our one of our tips is that you need to be patient when you are sourcing and working with manufacturers from a completely different country and they come from a different culture and background. Sometimes, for example, it is a holiday in the UAE, but it's not a holiday in China. And sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes it's a long holiday in China, but it's not a holiday where you live. So you might be communicating with the supplier, and the supplier is basically not answering you. What holidays do we currently have coming up in China, Yusuf?
So new in, because here is the Chinese New Year is coming, and from the next week it will be started the holidays, and so this one is the biggest festival for the Chinese. So all the suppliers, they will shut down their work, and they will just go back home. And so that's why like I am the buyer and I want to sell on Amazon. I want a quick, I want the product should be arrive in the Amazon warehouse, but I need to know that how is the condition, how is the like the timing in the China where my product is production. So you should be patient, that you should know that about that the time criteria about here. And this time is very very crucial time. Okay, so like this time all the suppliers, they are very busy because they have so many orders they want to finish before the Chinese New Year. So you should know that about also these things about the culture of your manufacturer, and also the timing. So you should be patient when you are in e-commerce.
Yeah, when you're sourcing in e-commerce for sure.
Yeah,
Now, we
exactly.
have some tips prepared for you about Alibaba in particular, 3 tips if you are sourcing from Alibaba. But before we go into it, let's answer one of the questions from Amir Yusuf, which says, which one is best, Alibaba or 1688?
Okay, so first I can give the answer, and also madam also have the
Yeah,
now this question. Actually both have the different platforms. Alibaba is an international platform that can give you like the internationally. Okay, 1688, that is a Chinese platform for the Chinese. If you are internationally, you can make the payment on Alibaba, because Alibaba is a internationally. If you are not a Chinese, then you cannot make the payment on 1688. 1688 is just for the Chinese. But our Amazon Seller Society can give you this service that We can give you
You need to
ideas.
basically, we love sourcing from 1688.
Yeah,
To tell you
because they have the
all
benefit.
the truth, we love to source products from 1688. It's because you will find much better prices, and I believe, Yusuf, we also are able to find. Not only is it about prices, we're also able to find products that other sellers cannot find on Alibaba easily. And as you know, because Amazon is a very competitive marketplace, you want to try to get products that are different than anybody else that's selling in the market. But I think one major issue for anyone that wants to source from 1688, Amir, and everyone that's joining us live, is the language. So the only reason that we are able to source from 1688 is because of our team in China, because they do speak Chinese and they can communicate with the suppliers easily. But if you can't, then this will be a very, very major problem for you. The second problem is, like Yusuf said, you can't pay directly to suppliers in 1688. So you're going to have to use a third party so that you can make the payment to that supplier.
Yeah, and I just want to add one more benefit of 1688, that because I am the new like a seller on the Amazon, so I want like a low MOQ. Okay, like a 200 or a 300 units. But if you want to buy from the Alibaba like a MOQ minimum, like it depends on the product, but like a
Yeah.
kitchen product are
Sometimes
like that
MOQ
have
is
the
higher. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
500 or a 1000. So MOQ is so high on Alibaba, but on 1688, because as I said before, that is the Chinese platform, is a local platform. You can buy any product like a 100 units, you can buy 200 units, and the most important thing, they can also give us like the customization on a low MOQ.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Also, Amir is saying a follow up to his question or what he said. There is more difference in prices. It
Yeah,
looks like there's a difference in prices, but of course, when you are figuring out that you need to pay through a third party and all of that, so the difference sometimes isn't as astronomical as it looks like online.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the prices difference, of course, is a difference, because and the Alibaba, because as I said before, this is an international platform, and 1688 is a Chinese platform. So all that Chinese like suppliers, they are selling the same product on Alibaba, but Alibaba have their own charges. Like if I am the seller on Alibaba, I have so many charges that I need to pay for the Alibaba's.
Just like sellers in Amazon. So for us as sellers on Amazon, we pay so many charges when somebody purchases the product on Amazon. So on Alibaba, it's the same thing for these manufacturers. They pay Alibaba yearly membership fees to be added to the platform, and they pay for all of these additional fees. Now, in order for them to be able to make those payments, they have to charge a little bit more to the international customer.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's how
Once
it is.
it is a Chinese platform, there is no charges for the seller on 1688.
Yeah.
So like have free, you
So,
can sell the product.
yeah.
So there is a
There
like
are
a
positives and negatives to both. Let's talk a little bit about suppliers on Alibaba and tips for you if you want to get products from Alibaba. For us, we believe, not only us, I think everyone that talks about e-commerce and everyone that talks about selling on Amazon, definitely Alibaba is potentially the best marketplace for you to find suppliers because it's the easiest. But for us, our main tips are, when you want to log into Alibaba and search for suppliers, you need to make sure that you go in and you know exactly what you're searching for. Don't just go in and think, oh, let me see what I find. You need to know exactly what the market price is, what your competitors are selling the products for, what are they selling, and you need to have a plan, because you want to do this as quickly as possible. You need to have a plan of what are the changes that you want to do, what your MOQ is. You want to have everything ready so that you can find the best suppliers. What are your tips, Yusuf, when it comes to doing research on Alibaba?
yeah. So when you are researching the supplier, so first thing is that you have a like a point. You have the break. down your cost, how much is you want like your product cost, COG, we can say that cost of the goods. The because have high prices on Alibaba and also have the low prices. And the most important, when you are searching the product on Alibaba, they are just mentioning that like a low price. So you just not go to see that price, you have to communicate with them. Okay, you have to communicate with them, and then they can tell you that the real price. Mostly they just showing that to attract the clients, they are just showing that the less price, $0.1, $1. Okay, but when you going to place the order, they said this is not a price. So before placing the order, you must know the cost of your products. The second thing is that you just know that about that the capacity, like the lead time, how much the lead time they can give you, 10 days, 15 days, you have to know about that. And you can also see that the commitment of your supplier. And commitment, how you can check that, like you can talk with the supplier, you can check the ranking, and you can check the comments of the others people they can give him. And also you can check the revenue of that supplier, how much he got like the last year revenue. Like if the new supplier they don't have the revenue, it means that if this is a new company, and like you cannot invest too much on that. So these are the basic elements that you have to know that about the cost, capacity, consistency, commitment. And also you know that about the culture, as we said before, that you just be patient, and you should know that about the culture of your supplier.
Exactly, perfectly said. Also, when you are searching for products on Alibaba, it's very, very smart to use the filters because you can narrow down, because literally there's maybe millions of suppliers on Alibaba. So it will be very confusing, or you will probably rely on the first and second page, and that's it, you'll get bored. So instead of doing that, use the filters that you find. There's a lot of filters that can help you narrow down exactly what you're searching for, but you need to know what you're searching for in order to be able to use the filters. And this is where I want to add Nina's comment right here, where she said on Alibaba there are Korean suppliers for beauty products. Is it sourced from Korea and shipping process from Korea to China and then to the UAE? On Alibaba, most people think that there's only Chinese suppliers. Yes, the majority of suppliers and manufacturers are Chinese, but you can find practically manufacturers from every single country, including Korea, Turkey, India, Vietnam, everywhere. But the majority are Chinese. Obviously, when you are procuring or getting a product from Korea, then it's going to be shipped from Korea to the UAE. Why would it go to China? Alibaba is just a platform where you can find suppliers and work with them directly. They don't do anything else.
Yeah.
So, what about filters, Yusuf? What do you think?
Yeah, Alibaba also have some filters before when you are searching the product. So you can use like the filters on Alibaba. You can filter your price. You can filter your like the trade insurance, because some suppliers they have the trade insurance. Some suppliers don't have the trade
Exactly.
insurance. Some people they don't know about that. What is the trade insurance? I can just briefly can explain that the trade insurance is, it means that you have the insurance of your product. Like the Alibaba is a third party that you can just pay the payment to the Alibaba, and Alibaba just take that payment in their account until that product will be arrive in your hands on your destination. When you the product will arrive, and then Alibaba can give money to the supplier. So they have like you have a trade insurance. If like you got the product is a broken or anything wrong, then you just refund that money through the trade insurance. So that's why mostly people they prefer to the trade insurance. And the second thing is that you can also use a filter by filtering the location. Like if you want
Yes.
that just the suppliers on a China, then they can also filter that all the supplier of the China. And some suppliers you want like Korean suppliers, your Indian suppliers, and any other country suppliers, so they can filter for you that related that suppliers. And as Anina asked about that, why like the product ship from Korea to China, then China to UAE. Actually,
Yeah.
some companies they also have like the offices. They have the companies here in China also.
China.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're just, yeah, like they have the name of that Korea, but the mostly product they can deliver from here too, because from here
Mm.
is a shipping is very cheap. If they can ship
Yes, it's
from
much
Korea
faster.
to UAE, because they don't have
Yeah.
like so many like that we can say that the tracking, so that's why that shipping is very expensive. But from China to everywhere is shipping every day, so that's why shipping is very cheap.
Perfect. And our last tip for you, when you want to work with a supplier on Alibaba and you are new, is why not order a small order first, test it out, make sure everything is okay before you commit to ordering a large quantity and end up working with a manufacturer that isn't exactly what you want. So, what about ordering small quantities, Yusuf? What do you
Yes,
suggest about
this is the main basic point when you are a new seller on Amazon or e-commerce. So when you are planning to sell the product, so first thing is that when you decided that this manufacturer is okay, and after that you just place the sample order, because when you will get the sample, then you just see that the product, how is the product quality, is product is a good or a bad, how is the, what is the material, you can do the test by yourself, and after that you just go ahead with the big order production. Like if directly if you will go the production, you just see that the real images, you didn't see that the product in your hands, you just see the graphic
yeah,
images. Graphic images are
yeah.
not the real images. So if you are a new seller, we suggest them, first you should buy the sample, you can check the product, you can see that in
Mhm,
your hands in a real, is the
mhm.
product is good, everything is good, then you just go ahead with your big order production.
Perfect. Let's go through some of the questions, Yusuf, before we end and we tell everyone Happy New Year. So, first question is unrelated to sourcing, but it's something that we can both answer. And Mark is asking that Amazon is only allowing him 300 units in their warehouse. That's because it's not a warehouse, Mark, it's a fulfillment center. While he is ordering larger quantities, what is our suggestion? So, first of all, you should no longer call Amazon warehouse, it's actually a fulfillment center. And if you think about it this way, the reason why Amazon is doing this is because they don't want to warehouse large quantities because their warehousing is very, very inexpensive. So for them, they want sellers that sell units quickly. So if you're ordering 1,000 units of one product and sending it over to the Amazon warehouse, then that quantity is going to sit in the warehouse for a while. And obviously, it's not going to sell as quickly as 200 or 300 units, and then you're going to take up a lot of space in somebody else's place. So for that reason, Amazon, especially for new sellers, have this quantity limitation. The longer you spend on Amazon as a seller and the better sales you get, the more Amazon is going to give you as an inventory allocation. But think about this as not as a warehouse, think about it as a fulfillment center and act accordingly. Yusuf, we face this problem a lot with new sellers, especially in the UAE. When we first started, as you know, when Amazon UAE first started in 2019, the limitation was 800 units. So it was never a problem in the beginning. 800 units, it's quite a good quantity. And then it went down to 500. And then at the end of last year, it went down to 300. So, what would your suggestion be to somebody like Mark, and what is the solution that we have found for our clients, for Amazon Sellers Society clients?
Yeah, so actually, the first thing is that, as we said, that have the two platform Alibaba 1688. On Alibaba, maybe Mark just he got like a MOQ is a 500, but
Yes,
he can just
yes,
receive like a 300. So the first thing is that you can just go ahead on a 1688, and you can find like that that the supplier, and you can just get only 300 units, and you can 300 units you can ship in Amazon, the first
and
option.
not have
The
any problem.
second
Yeah.
option, yes, second option, if that, because your selling rate is good, so and you cannot wait and you don't want to out of the stock your product, then you can order 500 units and you can just use 3PL in the UAE, and you can just get
Yeah.
the service of that, and you can just place 200 units in the 3PL, and 300 units in your warehouse, and when you have enough space in your Amazon, then you can just
You
ship
just
from
send them.
3PL to, and like that. So they have the two ways to solve this problem. First thing is that you just place a low order MOQ, 300 or a 200. The Our second thing is that you can just use that the 3PL.
Yeah, perfect. So there's, we always say there's literally millions of suppliers. So if you are not able to get a manufacturer that can give you a lower MOQ, then you can consider using a 3PL. Or maybe you can also, Yusuf, if Mark thinks that he's going to have really quick sales, maybe he can just ship the first 300, keep the second quantity with the supplier or the manufacturer for 1 or 2 months, and then ship the rest over to the UAE if he thinks he will be able to do that. One last question, Yusuf, from Amir. Amir is asking, when you are working with, or when you're working with manufacturers or let's say suppliers on Alibaba, for example, how do you know that this is a manufacturer or this is a trading company? That's what he meant, I think, by third party seller. So how can we see? Is it? Oh, no, sorry. He's saying, how can we see, is this our manufacturer of the third party seller? I don't understand. Amir,
Yeah,
do you understand the question, Yusuf?
I think so. As you mentioned before, that he's asking about
Yeah,
how we know that this is the real manufacturer or a trading
yeah.
company or just a
Or a
supplier.
trading company? Yeah,
Yes, actually, and the most important thing is that mostly big companies, they have like the further trading companies, and on Alibaba is everything is written that is that this is the supplier or just a trading company.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. So that's why when and the if you are a new seller, then the company like they will not give you like the agreement, because company they have the big
yes,
or agreement and they need like the
yeah,
big order production 10 millions. But so that's why they have the further like the trading companies, that trading
yeah,
companies they can provide you that service.
yeah. Perfect. Plus, you can always ask. There's no problem with asking, are you the manufacturer or are you a
Yes.
trading company? And they will tell you the truth. Like there's no way of hiding it.
Yeah,
And
exactly. If
that's
you
it,
cannot understand,
everyone. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Yusuf, so much for spending your time with me. And thank you, everyone, for joining us live. If you want, like we said in the beginning, if you want some more information about how we can help you get products, source them, how Yusuf and the rest of our team in China can do inspection, sampling, all of that, we do have these services as part of our done for you service. You can book a call with our team. This is the link right here on the screen, and you will find it also in the description box of this video. We hope that we were able to help you and answer all of your questions. What else do we want to say, Yusuf, before we get going? Hussein is
Um,
joining us from Germany. Hello, Hussein.
I can say that if you have any problem, you just contact with the ASS, Amazon Seller Society. We will be happy to help you,
To
and
solve
you
your
can start
problems.
your business from today. Don't think, just start from today and contact with if you need any help, and we can help you. And at any
Yeah.
time, 24 hours, we are available for you.
No, maybe not 24 hours, Yusuf, but okay. Okay. Most of the time we're available. Thank you so much, Yusuf. I wish you a great new year. And I wish everyone here that's watching us, if you're watching this in real time, happy new year that's coming soon. And happy Chinese New Year as well for everyone. And talk to you soon. Thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Have a good day and have a good night.
Yeah.